A good passage is a boring passage, really, but even so, it's quite grueling.
You may be wondering how we cope being on a boat together for 10 days or more in such a small space. So this episode kind of illustrates what happens, which is not always very much. You can see what kind of things we do to keep ourselves occupied and how we even go a little bit loopy at times.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family.
Okay, this is day 7. Every night I've been on the night watch, which is from 1:30 until about 6. So Willie stays on till 1 o'clock. Darroch comes on at 1 till 2:30. I come on at 2:30 until 5:30 or 6 usually, and then I wake Ewan up. But tonight it's been kind of a lot of squalls around, and the wind's sort of up and down quite a lot, from kind of like, you know, from 7 knots all the way up to 20 knots. So I've just decided not to wake him up. I'll just stay up another hour because he's really tired anyway with his watches, and you have to be quite dynamically adjusting the sails and the course as the wind's changing quite rapidly. So I wouldn't sleep anyway, so I'm just going to stay up. You start to get tired after a certain amount of days. It just builds up really, and all you want is the boat to stop moving and have a full night's sleep. Sailing itself takes quite a bit of time. I find myself adjusting the sails quite a bit to see if we can get any more speed out of them.
It's like every now and again the boats go over it.
We love watching the sunrises and the sunsets and just watching those days go by. And of course, lots of cups of tea. They break up the day as well.
So, you're in passage, yeah? You're basically in a 4 square meter thing. So, you do some weird things. This is how I eat satsumas. I break open the satsuma pod and I look inside. You see these things, they look like maggots. So what I do is I get one at a time and I crush it. Nice and juicy. And I do this so that it lasts long and I get entertained.
And of course, sleeping is one thing we do a lot of when we're on passage.
It's my night watch and I have been checking the weather, like the wind, which is staying around 10 to like 9 knots to maybe 8, and we're going 3 knots, 4 knots, 5 knots now. Yeah, it kind of goes between 3 knots, 4 knots and 5 knots. The ETA is 2 days, no 1 day. It changes so quickly. No boats, and just double check. Nope, no
the boats?
Haven't been seeing any boats for like ages. I'm excited. We're nearly at Fiji. Yeah.
So last night the wind kind of dropped and the sails were flogging quite badly, so we had to roll out and roll in as the squalls came through. So another restless night really. Today we're going to try and pinch a little bit of upwind, and then tonight we can get the pole out and go a little bit downwind, and that'll just mean it'll hold the Genoa steady. So to get our weather updates and weather routing information, we use the Iridium Go satellite system. It downloads it to an app, very slow, and recently Starlink has come out, so it means you can get satellite Wi-Fi at sea, which is a lot faster, about 40,000 times faster I think. It's like broadband at sea. It's quite resource hungry. The Iridium Go runs off satellite and you can plug it in through USB. The Iridium Go system is still good for sort of life rafts and emergencies because it is battery powered. So I don't think it's quite at its day yet, but its days are numbered, I guess. We download it on the phone. You've got to connect with the Wi-Fi to the Iridium Go, and then you've got to set your grid, which is basically your area that you want the information on, and it'll only download that information. To download any more information, that would be way too big. It brings information from a few different models. When they start going off in completely separate directions, then you know that the weather is very changeable and you need to keep an eye out. A good passage is a boring passage really, but even so it's quite grueling. We should be getting into Fiji on Sunday evening. Now the Fijian authorities charge double if you check in on a weekend, so we're trying to time it so we get there on Sunday night and have the excuse of anchoring out and just basically give them a call on Monday morning during normal office hours, and then we just get paid the normal price. So we can't wait to get to land, get some swimming in, stretch our legs, have a beer. I've got to say though, the boys have really stepped up to the mark. They've been getting up for their watches and doing it with enthusiasm. We haven't had to wake them up, they've actually been waking themselves up with the alarm. It's all good discipline, and it means we don't have to carry any extra crew, which is great.
And when the conditions are okay, of course we love to cook, which means that we have yummy things to eat, and that also raises morale. What are you making?
Brownies. We have loads of eggs and we're not allowed to bring them into Fiji, so we're using the eggs to be useful for once.
And here's the brownie that was complete, and the lemon drizzle cake. Okay, so we heard a sudden judder and we didn't know what happened, and what happened is the bottom of the outhaul for the Genoa had snapped, so we couldn't furl it away, and there was just a gust coming and a squall, which means you've got full sail out, but luckily it hasn't turned into anything too ghastly. So Woody's now trying to tie a new downhaul line to hold the Genoa sail down and attach it to the furler. It's one of those things, I guess we probably should have been checking it a bit more regularly to make sure that there was nothing chafing or anything like that, but we didn't really. If you like following our story, please hit the super thanks and help towards the creation of these videos. And if you'd like to have more access, we would love it if you join our Patreon family, where you get ad-free videos, cockpit sessions, downloads, guides, and you can message us directly.
Things going fine. We've got a nice steady breeze, doing an average about 5.5 knots, 6 knots. Fixed the leak on the generator, on the U-bend of the generator, the wastewater. There was a hairpin leak and it was squirting out water all over the generator, which is obviously not good, having hot salt water spraying all over the generator. So I managed to get some JB weld on that, which will do a semi-permanent fix until I can get that welded.
broken wing. It didn't last a spring. He shoved me out before the nest was cold. I couldn't fly, but God, I tried. I hit the ground and I was on my own, alone in a big blue land with only my legs to stand.
Cool.
Nothing for miles around.
Yeah. As Dari said, there's nothing for miles around.
Not from Fiji, obviously.
And yep, we can see Fiji now.
I see the sky where you would fly, and I would wait.
Okay, so we're just turning the generator on to charge up because we're at 40% and we don't want to let it go down too low. The JB Weld has worked and it's plugged that hole, so we don't have a leak at the moment, but we have to keep checking it just in case it gets blown out or something, but it looks good.
I never had the chance to float in a weightless dance, to swim in the great expanse.
So here we are again in the galley, still trying to get rid of all our eggs. So today Ewan's making another chocolate brownie because that's going down really well, and I'm trying a carrot cake today because I've never made that before.
So there's a book and you can make mug cakes, but we've wrote our own recipes in it, and so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, these mug cakes, you kind of get the recipe for one mug and you've got to try and work out how much you put in the whole cake.
So Dad's sleeping and he's snoring at the same time. It's so funny.
No, if it's a barracuda, don't bother hooking it. Just get it with the neck.
So more drama on the final leg. The fishing reel went, all hands on deck. We caught a Maui Maui, one of our favourite fish actually. Although the tuna's nice, the Maui Maui is just that little bit better. So it looks like we might be having teriyaki fish tonight.
The other benefit of catching a fish every now and then is not only is it great for the diet, but it also keeps us occupied.
So I was quite proud of the fillets we made. I think one thing we can improve on is making the most out of the offcuts, like maybe boiling down the like head or something, and we can make soup. That'd be cool. But yeah,
Well done.
be a nice reward for when everyone gets here from England. They'll have like fresh fish.
And that's why I love you. It felt so good to be in Fiji and have arrived safely and all ready to check in.
Everyone's like so stressed because on the chart it says the depth is lower than our keel. We might hit the bottom. What do you think?
So whoever's on the helm, it's their fault.
Ah,
Whoever's in the helm is in charge. That's the rule.
look, that's like right next to the channel.
I don't know exactly.
We're coming in now.
plough through the mud to get the mooring buoy, and it's really weird. We're kind of sat on the mud not moving, and our keel is buried 1/2 metre into the mud.
And everyone else is like the opposite way to us. It's funny.
Renko's not stressed at all, are you?
Weird, because yeah, we're at a different angle, but I'm also thinking how soft or hard is that mud, because I don't want to be on anything hard. But there's no swells, we're not going up and down on it, but we're definitely stuck. So I think when that tide comes up, we'll probably swing round, and then I'm trying to work out whether we're going to get out of here or not. I might check the tide on the day we're supposed to leave.
Wouldn't we have to do on high tide?
Yeah. We came back to pay the fee for biosecurity, and the last thing we've got to do is take the customs sealed form to the marina office to get our cruising permit, and then we're done. It's actually not as complicated as some places, I tell you. I've been to way more complicated places than this. It was so wonderful to be able to arrive in Fiji in time to greet our family.
Jacob, Noah, Phoebe, Helga and Uncle John are on that plane just there. Or are they all on the same plane?
Yep.
So as we came back to the boat, we had other things in store, more challenges, which you can find out about if you stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you for watching and enjoying these videos. So if you're the type of person that would like to thank us in return, then you can simply click on the super thanks button below, or otherwise you can support us on Patreon and get more than just 4 videos a month from as little as $3 a month. We look forward to seeing you there.